Thank you, Vice President Mr. Bibu Punuran, for welcoming and introducing the guests. Today, the stage is very special. All the dignitaries seated are all part of, ma'am as our chief guest, all part of our managing committee. This is actually a rare occasion. Ma'am is also part of our managing committee this year. So all of us are managing committee of Kerala Management Association. This is definitely a rare occasion, and simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Dr. M. Beena IAS, Chairperson, Cochin Port Authority, and Mr. Madhu S Nair, CMD of Cochin Shipyard Limited, are embodiments of this saying. We are very much blessed to have these brilliant personalities in our managing committee. Thank you so much for being part of us. Executive committee members, managing committee members, past presidents, Mr. Beena C. Govind sir, thank you so much for coming. And we can also see Mr. Bijoy Bhaskaran. He is manager of the award winner of KMA once, right? Welcome, sir. Past president, I can see Mr. Premchand, Mr. Vivek Krishna Govind, Mr. Jose P. Philip. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for coming in. And yes, Mr. Jibu Paul. And all members. I can see some of them are from Cochin Shipyard officials, and our invited guests, Kerala Management Association members, our distinguished guests. Warm good evening and hearty welcome once again to this prestigious event of honoring Pride of KMA, Mr. Madhu S Nair. Hearty congratulations and a big salute to you and to your team, sir, for making all of us proud. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to honor you on your invaluable achievement, INS Vikram. It is my pleasure to tell that there are a number of things KMA has done in association with the Cochin Shipyard Limited, CSL. CSL contributed 40 lakhs for our KMA building during renovation. Yes. There is a hall in the first floor named after Cochin Shipyard Limited. Every year, Cochin Shipyard has helped generously for organizing flagship event, annual convention, as well as many other events. Sir has been with us in the MC for the past 6 years, starting from 2015. In between, some few years he wasn't there. We organized industrial visit for our members twice to Cochin Shipyard. Once sir did an informative presentation on shipyard at our managing committee meeting. I was also a chief guest at Cochin Shipyard for one of the Women's Day celebrations. Sir hosted MC meeting at the guest house, at his guest house. We also had a past president from Cochin Shipyard, late D. Jayachandran. You can see it in the board, in the year 1985. So long association with Cochin Shipyard. This Cochin Shipyard is always very dear to KMA. Now Cochin Shipyard made not only us but the whole of India proud through the indigenously constructed INS Vikrant area at the Cochin Shipyard Limited for the Indian Navy. I'm not talking much about this. We would love to hear from Madhu sir about the making of INS Vikrant. This year we have taken up many new initiatives such as CSR, C2C, there's a CSR initiative, C2C, Campus to Corporate. Then we brought some students from colleges and we have given them soft skill training, and Sir, Mr. Venugopal C. Govind sir inaugurated that. And then another initiative, corporate cricket league, wherein we were inviting all the youngsters to come and play. That we have already organized matches. 18 team were there. It was a huge success, and that is another initiative of us. And we have organized honoring our past president, KMA Foundation Day. We celebrated last week. And one more is coming in, that is corporate competition for the colleges and corporates. That is called Quest. For the first time, we are having annual convention at Grand Hyatt. And thank you, our Senior Vice President, Mr. A. Balakrishnan. Today another award has been instituted called the Pride of KMA. And the first awardee is our own MC member, Mr. Madhu S Nair. So greatest contribution to, yes, of course, it's deserving of this round of applause. I know another elegant lady who took many new initiatives, and that becomes beneficial to the whole of the state, Kerala. She is the first ever Knowledge Ambassador in Asia, first ever Ambassador Knowledge Awardee. This award was instituted by the International Quizzing Association, IQA. And another initiative is We Mission, that is encouraging women entrepreneurs. That is happening, I think, 2015 summit at Crown Plaza. Yes, I remember that. And Startup Mission, a lot of promotion she's done, a Smart City and many more. She is a performer. While ma'am was at MD of KSIDC, made a record performance. Madam is known for her teamwork. She is highly meticulous, kind-hearted and approachable. Dr. Beena is concerned about people and projects, always appreciate the hard work. Madam gives executives complete freedom to work, and the result is beyond expectation. You must be wondering how I know all this. Let everybody keep thinking. While I requested to be part of this MC, it was nice of her to agree, and of course she attended a full MC meeting. The history of KMA says the first president of KMA was late MS Venkataraman, CMD of Cochin Port Trust. You can see it in the board. The first past president, Mr. late MS Venkataraman, that is 1957 to 60. That is how we started our spearheading management movement in Kerala. I was also honored to be felicitated by Dr. Beena ma'am on one occasion. Now, let's witness the honoring ceremony. I am grateful to ma'am for accepting our invitation to honor our pride, Mr. Madhu S Nair. May I request ma'am to do the honors.
Miss L. Nirmala, Chief Guest of today, our star, our pride, and my dear friend, CMD of Cochin Shipyard, Mr. Madhu S Nair, Mr. A. Balakrishnan, Mr. Bibu Punuran, Mr. LGS Khalid, veterans of Cochin Business and Industry, members of KMA, members of Cochin Shipyard, dear friends. By honoring Madhu, it is actually who is being honored, that is the question. I deem it an honor. Let me be very, very open here. I deem it an honor to have been given this opportunity to honor one of the greatest technocrats Cochin has seen, Kerala has seen in recent years. So compliments to Srinivas. In fact, I remember meeting Mr. Madhu for the first time. I don't know whether you remember. You had come to my office at KSIDC. So what struck me was a person who is, coming all the way from Cochin to Trivandrum to move out. So his basic job is shipbuilding. Now, he's coming to KSIDC to discuss the ancillary industry development which can fall out from the Cochin shipyard activities. So I see, normally we have a certain image of PSUs, we have a certain image of Kerala. Now we are all proudly saying that, Madhu has done this. But let us just introspect. Normally what do we speak about Kerala? Nothing will happen here. Nothing can happen here because of trade unionism, this issue, that issue. So we all, we very happily speak about the problems all the time. I have never heard Mr. Madhu speak about the problems. I think the reason for his success is that in no conversation does he speak about labor issues. In no conversation does he speak about political interference. We all know that we are living in a state where these things are there, but he manages it and he doesn't make too much of it. And he's able to focus on what he needs to focus upon. So this kind of passion and commitment not only to his organization, not only to his state, not only to the country, but to the world as a whole, to the globe as a whole. As was mentioned in his CV, his contribution towards green shipping, his commitment towards green shipping. In fact, we had a meeting, a Chintan Baitak at Kurk, in which normally it was just all ports describing what they were doing. And Madhu came specifically for the need to promote green shipping. And he actually put forward a proposal before the port so that we could purchase green tugs and convert a certain percentage at least of our vessels into green energy. So that kind of commitment, and I think Nirmala and Bindu were very correct in saying that it is very difficult to get him to attend such a function. And I'm sure everybody in this room, we all agree that he always tries to keep himself out of the limelight. Because he believes that work is, he focuses more on the work itself rather than on the result of work. In fact, what Bhagavad Gita says, you focus on your work and don't bother about the result. So that, I think for management students, the way he has worked, the way he has brought about changes in shipyard. And again, shipyard, we all know, had a very difficult past. And the way the organization, it's not just Madhu, but the way the entire organization has come out of it and has reached a stage where Honorable Prime Minister is extolling it. I think that is a big case study that KMA should try and find out. Because how an organization which was into massive losses turned around, made profit, and is not just making for India but now making for the world. I think that is a success story that the entire organization, and I think KMA, you can be proud that all the the important organizations in Cochin. So I say Cochin Port, FACT, Shipyard, I think all the important organizations and the private sector, of course, have been associated with KMA, and Madhu is in the managing committee. I think this organization can also be proud of Madhu. In fact, the title of your award, Pride of KMA, I think it's a beautiful title and very correctly named. So Madhu's commitment, Madhu's technical knowledge, in fact all this, see, when he presents in a meeting, be it before the minister, be it before the secretary, I must also say that Madhu, there was a recent meeting where Secretary Ministry of Shipping was chairing. For us, Secretary Ministry of Shipping is for us he is the Prime Minister, at the bureaucratic level. And Madhu had the audacity to say something. He said, if you insist on something, which the secretary was trying to do, if you insist on something, we will have to close shop. The entire gathering got shell-shocked because nobody speaks to secretary like this. But his conviction on what is right, what is best for his organization, his commitment to work, his commitment that things should not suffer. So that goes even beyond the policy dictats of the government. That kind of conviction, faith in himself, I think these are all qualities worth emulating. And the adversities that Cochin Shipyard had gone through has actually brought out, it is always said in the maritime context that smooth seas do not make a good sailor. It must be the rough seas, the adversities that Cochin Shipyard went through, that has brought out the best in Madhu and his entire team. His team is also here. He's getting very good support from his team. And I think that is also something you need to learn from him. Apart from his professional competence, apart from his technical competence, the way he handles people, the real kindness and regard he has for his employees. I have seen it at very close quarters. I've heard of it, I've seen it, I've understood it. I think that is also something which all CEOs can learn from. So, in a nutshell, here is a person who embodies passion for work, technical expertise, and on the strong foundation of patriotism and commitment to the country. So, KMA has done the right thing in celebrating his success, because we all jointly are happy that Cochin Shipyard has been successful and Madhu's success is celebrated today. And I strongly believe that he has more years to go and he will be a technocrat who will change the face of Kerala and India in the years to come. Wishing him all the best. Thank you.
Chairperson, Cochin Port Authority and the Chief Guest for today, Shri A. Balakrishnan, Shri Khalid, most respected Venugopal Govind, respected senior members of the KMA fraternity, my colleagues at CSL, dear friends. At the outset, a big thanks from the bottom of my heart. I should actually say I'm truly humbled. I'm humbled that KMA has chosen me for this award. I'm humbled, and I say with deep conviction again, the words Dr. Beena has talked, I really don't know whether I deserve this, but I take it extremely to the softest corner of my heart, coming from somebody like Dr. Beena, whom I consider somebody who epitomizes what I think India and this society should grow into. So that kind of a society, I feel it's a person like Dr. Beena who epitomizes. Not because Dr. Beena is a celebrated civil servant, today heading one of the finest ports in the country, being the head of KSIDC. He has done our what we call the Vaitila hub, fondly called the Vaitila hub. Nothing, it's not from those points of view. It's actually from the point of view which I'm not sure where many of you would be aware, but the combination of Dr. Beena and Sri Vijay, for me, is very close to my heart. And where Dr. Beena comes from, she hasn't told this to me, but I'm aware of this. The way a mother has raised children and how the daughters go on to be admired by the society at large from all over point of view. So for me, silently, and me, my wife who works in DRDO, for us all, Dr. Beena has been a very, very kind source of inspiration. I have a daughter. Once in a while I say, if you want to look at role models, there's one role model whom we can actually feel and touch. I'm again humbled because, see, this award, I do mean it. I feel very embarrassed. In fact, when Sri Bibu called me to voice, he sent me a message. KMA is also a little bit like home for me. So coming here, receiving an award on my personal behalf, I feel extremely unfair. For me, let me be putting it very, very bluntly. I am all about Cochin Shipyard. There is no existence for Madhu S Nair without Cochin Shipyard. I do mean it. I have a professional life, I have a personal life, I have professional friends, I have personal friends. And many a times what happens is, this all gets mixed up. And it gets mixed up to such an extent that the two gentlemen sitting here on our board, Sri Vijay Bhaskar and Sri Srijit, we all been in this journey of Cochin Shipyard over the last 34 years. Joined the shipyard on the same day, we've been there together, we've gone through, as Dr. Beena rightly said, yes, we saw the difficulties, we went through the difficulties. But we are there together, we hold it together, and like the inner part of our hands, we hold it very, very dear. We hold Cochin Shipyard. And it is all about Cochin Shipyard. Today I'm getting this privilege to even talk to you. For us being part of Cochin Shipyard, I consider myself just pure, blessed and honored to be helming the affairs of Cochin Shipyard today when you are all talking about INS Vikrant. One of the finest examples of what this country is all about. And I'll come to that in a little bit later. But I think we need to, when we talk about anything about Cochin Shipyard, and today I have nothing else but to talk about Cochin Shipyard and getting an august audience like this, I need to mention a few facets about CSL, which probably as a state, as a community, as a society, I think we need to understand. This was an organization which was on the streets of Cochin. When we joined the shipyard in 1988, straight out of college, I joined from Cochin University, Srijit joined from the Calicut REC at that point of time, that present NIT, and Vijay joined from the IIT Madras. And when we joined, things were not going good. But there was a passion in the company. There was a fire in the company. There was people with the greatest part about Cochin Shipyard is the kind of people we always had. The kind of people with deep-rooted integrity. We had lots of them. We have been extremely blessed. That's why I said we just plain blessed that we got such people with us. But personally for me, there was an incident. We created something called Save Our Shipyard. It was coined as SOS. So you all know what is SOS. So there's a last signal you send before your master mariners from the Navy are here. And Cochin Shipyard, due to a set of reasons, I won't get into it, but due to a set of reasons, with a eroded net worth of almost minus 150 crores, was on the streets of Cochin with a begging bowl. Literally with a begging bowl. There were begging bowls. And that's how this SOS was there. And as a young officer out of college, with pride in the heart and ambitions to go, aspirations for the society, we were walking down MG Road from North End to South End with a begging bowl. I couldn't take it. After a few, I also, for the group, the entire group was there, I also walked a little bit. But after some time, I had to come out of this. I didn't walk the full distance. But then that was something which hurt you. Because do you beg or do you fight? And I think we decided that we'll fight. We decided we are not running away from here. All of us could have ran away from here. All of us could have ran away from here. Vijay Bhaskar is a gold medalist from IIT Madras. I have done my masters. I have a gold medal from the Osaka University. Srijit came in from Calicut REC with flying colors. All of us could have run away. And if it was to run away, we would all have run away. And I'm not talking about the three of us. There were a lot of people. But the moment we decided to fight, as they say, fortune favors the brave. Circumstances were also evolving. Manmohan Singh was coming, or rather I would say Narasimha Rao came, the unseen hero of India, Narasimha Rao came, he had the audacity to bring in a Manmohan Singh as finance minister. Things started changing in India. The license Raj was unraveling, and we saw an opportunity. We said, till that point of time, Cochin Shipyard was a company looking at inside India. We were that classical, what people would call a government company. And I always repeat this, a government company, Dr. Beena would concur with me, a government company, at least now I think a little bit of the perceptions are changing, a little bit only. But the general feel of a government company, PSU or government, whatever it is that the government company has to be corrupt. Has to be corrupt. It has to be inefficient. Nothing will go correct over there. It has to go wrong. It has to be sloth. People will come late, people will go early, people will take leave, nothing goes correct. If something is happening, there are always underhand things. Now, it is very difficult to explain to somebody that this probably is not correct. But people like us, and I'm sure like in this particular aspect, I have a soulmate in Dr. Beena here. We actually decided to perform rather than to explain. When we started to perform, we actually started to look beyond India. We started looking outside. We started looking at different models, and there was strength to push. The result, how it's happened, before I come to INS Vikrant. Today, CSL as a company is from a minus 150 crore. Today we are at plus 4,500 crores net worth. And not 1 rupee of this has been put in by the central government. This is what people need to understand, we all need to understand. There is a general perception that a public sector company is fed by the government. It is not fed by the government. But on same lines, I should say, the public sector company had a lot of goodwill. The warmth, extraordinary warmth. Ma'am Beena was referring to an incident where I could actually, she used the word, I had the audacity to talk to the secretary that way. I put it the other way around. I am blessed to have a secretary who can take what I am saying and still see the right thing. We have seen such people. I am telling you, 6 years I have been in the chair, 7 years almost now, as chairman of Cochin Port Limited. This entire general perception is that there are interferences. I am telling you, there is not a single interference. And this is coming from the top end politicians. This is coming from the top end IAS officers. They are clean. You will have to believe my words. They are clean. I am not saying this for the heck of it. They are clean. You want to explain why you couldn't do something, and you want, yes, the Madhu is available. That you can put on there. But I am telling you, this is a great country. This country still has got excellent people. There are all sorts of people. Every country has got all sorts of people. But if you can look at what is good in front of you, I think you can see only good. And this is exactly what is happening. And this was an organization in Cochin Shipyard where, see, of late, after Prime Minister Modi took over in Delhi 2014 times, there was this feel that people should come to offices on time. There was this insistence people should stay a little bit late and other things. And suddenly, this whole Babu culture, we call all the government, you don't look at everybody's called a Babu, isn't it? So the Babu culture, sort of papers started to run this and the Babus are being shaken. See, which is this Babu we are talking about? The senior civil service officials, the excellent civil service officials always used to do this. The officers in the Navy, they are actually part of the government system. The senior guys always used to do this. It was a set of people who were enjoying the system. They were shaken. People like us were always happy. 1988, when I joined the shipyard, we all used to punch in the morning. 8:15 is our time. We would all make sure that prior to 8:10, you are all in offices. That used to be a normal culture. In the evenings, none of us look at the clock. We don't take our leaves. We all exhaust our leaves. Even casual leaves we don't take. And this is not about Madhu S Nair. This is about many people in the company, but many people don't realize this. That passion, that feel of working together, the feel of being part of an system with integrity. And when you do something, when you break those silos, when you break perceptions. Today, I see people telling, oh, you're working in Cochin Port, that's a great company. This is what it's all about for us. There's nothing else. It's not about the money, it's not about the heights, it's all about this transition, if we could actually be part of that journey. We have been part of a journey where we are, again I use the word, we are blessed to be part of the journey, part with great people, some excellent friends. As Tata Steel said at a point of time, in the caption, I say, we make friendships, we make friends, we also do build ships. That's Vikrant. It is this goodness in Cochin Port which is actually translated into Vikrant. Because Vikrant is all about India. Vikrant, we have got a lot of applause for Vikrant. But I said this applause for Vikrant is for Team India. If I cut it down, I always say, and I consistently said that this is about Team CSL plus Team Navy. I call it Team Vikrant. So how Team Vikrant has worked and what is Team Vikrant all about? More than 550 companies in India. And this includes the top-end public sector undertakings in India, some of the top-end private industries in India, 550 MSMEs. We have worked together. We have worked together against all odds. And people have been uncharitable. There has been uncharitable thing. Even today, people would, at least when we are even applauding Vikrant, people would say, "Itrayum samayam venayirunno. Isn't this too long? When did you start construction? You've taken 15 years, you've taken 14 years. Whom are we talking?" There are even learned people in the Navy sometimes who talk this language. For a moment, I'm not saying everything is fine with Cochin Port, everything is fine with the Navy. Definitely yes. Any journey done again for a country, you can do it better. So for a minute, I'm not saying that everything has been perfect. It can definitely be done better. But that's the case with hindsight. You can do everything better. This was a mammoth feat of engineering being attempted for the first time in the country. And when we do this, these timelines, I actually appeal to many of my friends here. You can search the web and you can search a thing called the PANG, P-A-N-G. This is France's new aircraft carrier being developed. It's a much larger one. It's a nuclear aircraft carrier, but you can check it out. And this is happening now. 2020, 2 years earlier, they started the design. It's slated for delivery in 2038. 18 years is the planned schedule. This is how it is, because the aircraft carrier is not just a product. We're pushing a large ecosystem. And that ecosystem, there's a lot of learning. And some of the greatest insights, just to touch upon, is a pride factor which comes into it. And that is what makes Vikrant very special. Vikrant is not about just a feat of engineering. Vikrant is about India. Vikrant is how you touch the spirit of India. And if you mold the spirit of India, how it bites back. That is how Vikrant is all about. Because Vikrant, when we started, there have been multiple challenges. And multiple challenges right from how you create the engineering, and during the engineering, how you create various equipment significantly within the country. Just one example, we were to buy the entire steel from Russia. And due to a set of reasons, again, not delving into it, this wouldn't happen from Russia because the Russians acted differently, not in India's interest at that point of time. But some gentlemen at the position of power took the decision that we keep out Russia and we develop this steel in India. It set back the project by 2 years. But India Steel Authority of India Limited, along with our DRDO, the National Metallurgical Research Lab, developed this steel. A company called Mishra Dhatu Nigam Limited, Vidani, developed the electrodes. Cochin Port developed 34 welding procedures. Our welding companies developed the welding electrodes. And today it's history. Today not a single piece of this steel is imported into the country. 42 ships are being built in the country. The entire steel is in. This is a very, very high grade steel. This is not a normal steel. And today this entire steel and this technology is today available with SAIL, with JSW, JSPL and the ArcelorMittal Group. This is how a country moves forward. This is the strength of the country, and this is the exact point which the Honorable Prime Minister was alluding when he was doing the expansion plan inauguration for the ArcelorMittal. He talked about this particular facet of the country. There will be a lot of development this way which has actually happened in the country. So where it all comes in is, for me, the greatest part about INS Vikrant is, INS Vikrant, why is it getting so much attention? It's about the pride. And it's about the belief which this generation has been able to give to the next generation. ഞങ്ങളെ എയർക്രാഫ്റ്റ് കാരിയർ പണിത രാജ്യമാണെന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റുന്ന ഒരു രാജ്യമായി നമ്മൾ മാറി. We are only the 6th country in the world which can actually say this. Our youngsters can go and say this. And our youngsters are saying the next thing. We have done aircraft carrier, give us the next. What next? Aircraft carrier, we'll do the next. Today we are here, the youngsters are saying we are willing to launch rockets. Agnikul and Cosmos are willing to say that give us 2 in small area patch of land and 2 trucks and we'll launch rockets. We have reached that situation. I feel this is all about India on the move. Long time we have lost the pride. I always feel we were a people who have forgotten how to believe in ourselves. Today I can be very clear, and this is the greatest joy in us. We are in a position to believe in ourselves. That belief is the most important part. And for that belief, that joy of teaming up, I think Vikrant taught us also the joy of teaming up. Between us and the Navy, there was no fight. There were fights on the ground. There's a project. But at the top, everybody was focused on the project. COVID came in. And during COVID, not a single foreigner could be flown into the country. And the ship went for the first sea trials without a single foreigner on board. Unheard of in India. Indians took this vessel out. And the Indians did it. First attempt, first run, full speed, full power. This is what this vessel is done. And people sometimes ask me, this vessel, is this amongst the best in the world? I am telling you without any iota of doubt. For the size of the vessel, it's not the largest vessel in the world, aircraft carrier, but for the vessel it is second to none. It is with the best technologies in the country. And this is again all about India. It's not about Cochin Port. Cochin Port is extremely fortunate to be occupying the center stage on this. But this is about the country. And I want very clearly every one of us to understand, we are all part of it. So for one, I always believe, as we move forward in a long journey, it is not about milestones. Me, Bijoy, Srijit, when we joined today, I am sitting as CMD, we are all directors. None of us, it was not that we decided that we'll move up.